So I know player contracts are beyond your control, but I'm curious how much you feel you might benefit as a coach from all of the deals that have gotten done this season with key members of your team.
Well, only the players can tell you how much it affects them, but it's human nature. There's a little bit of that. I mean, they play the game because they love it, but it is a business side of it, and you want to get taken care of. And I think this year we've done a great job with all that. I know there's a few more guys to go, but in general, trying to lock up the guys that we want to be high-character Golden Knights for long periods of time. So congratulations to Krim for, taking care of that. It certainly makes it easier, I think, on everybody, and I'm happy for Aiden. He's earned it. I mean, you think about the story that he comes in here 2 years ago from San Jose and what he's been able to do for us and himself. So a big credit to the organization and specifically Sean Burke for the work he's put in and for identifying that level of talent and what he thought he could be. So we're all happy.
Bit off topic, but Ovi approaching the goals record, I wonder what's it been like trying to game plan against this guy who maybe you game plan, but he still figures out a way to score?
Against Ovi?
Yeah.
We saw them earlier in the year. I think he had a hat trick against us one day, so our game plan was kind of crappy, obviously. I think they've been doing it for years. Every team has elite guys, maybe not quite as established, but we just went through it with Crosby, right? We win Pittsburgh, the one line that can beat us, and he scores two, right? So it's not easy. I think players are aware when he's on the ice what he can do, strengths, weaknesses. So, but that's a good challenge, and we have those type of players. Jack Eichel's having a great year. I'm sure teams are talking about what can we do to slow down his line. So it happens from team to team. But those are, as coaches, I think those are good problems to have, and it's great for the league what's going on right now. I think there's a lot of interest. People wondered for a long time would they ever break the record. Even 2 years ago there was a big discussion on it, and here we are. It looks like it's going to happen, so good for Ovi.
Bruce, I'm interested in your thought on just the maturity in Jack's game. I mean, he's on this point streak now. He's got one goal, but he's just become such an incredible 200-foot guy, even from a couple of years ago.
Watch how many plays he broke up just last night coming back into his own end with his stick. He's just unbelievable. His first two strides are really underrated in terms of how much ice he can cover. He does that in our end consistently because you're not in full-out speed races in your own end. You've got to get to a spot in a hurry. He's unbelievable at that, and his plus-minus shows that. I'm sure all the other metrics or analytics will show that. The offensive side of it, he's power play runs through him and Mark Stone a lot, so he's making a lot of great plays, a lot of first pass, the two of them first pass assists. So he shot the puck a little more last night. He's willing to do that if teams take away other parts of our game. So couldn't be happier with Jack. I mean, I think that his coming out party was obviously the Stanley Cup playoffs, and he's just built off that. And a real leader in our room, more vocal this year too because of some of the veteran guys that left. So just really comfortable in his own skin in Vegas. And as I said, I couldn't be happy for him. We have a great relationship, and he's been really good for our team.
And what about just, you guys, a bunch of guys in that room won a cup a couple of years ago. Last night, that was not a good first period, but you guys just figure it out right away at the second.
One thing we did talk even this morning is we get better as the game goes along, which is a good characteristic to have. It means you can rise up to the challenges. It means you can put stuff behind you. We didn't like to start. We didn't think we were awful by any means. They threw everything at the net, and it wasn't high danger after high danger, but we weren't winning enough races to get pucks back. We didn't execute well enough. We did to sort of calm some of that pressure down. And eventually, it can go the other way, and all of a sudden you're chasing the game. So good on Aiden for hanging in there. But good on our team to sort of find it eventually. We did have to make a play to score the first goal. We won a puck on the power play entry, so we recognized that we had to be better. That is a sign of a team, I think, that's confident, and why wouldn't we be? We're in first place. A lot of guys in that room have won, so every night, listen, there's 82 of these. You're not going to be perfect very often, and you just can't be bad for long stretches, right? In season and in games, right? And that's one of the things we're good at is getting to our game eventually, and hopefully it's sooner than 10 minutes in tomorrow, but sometimes that's the way it goes, or 20 minutes in. That's what happened yesterday.
getting back to Aiden, Bruce, he mentioned coming into this year that he wanted to maybe play 50 games, stay healthy coming off last year. How would you sum up what you've seen from him this season?
Well, he's trending in that, right? Right now, he's that was Raul, who loves to sing, by the way, for you guys are wondering. He's very good at entertaining us. He's trending for that. I don't know exactly how many he's going to start, but if you map it out, he's going to be close to 50. We thought at the start of the year, 48-ish is 60% is, as Ashley knows, is 49 games. We went through that one day. So we thought around there, so he's right there. He hasn't missed. He had a game earlier coming out of the Four Nations, I think, in LA that he wasn't feeling great. Other than that, he's been on time for all his scheduled starts. He hasn't missed anything other than maintenance days or optionals like today. So I think that's important, that it's not only for your games, it's to keep your game up in practice, right? And your days you're not playing, you've got to work on your details. And there's a lot of little things for goaltenders that they have to do in between starts. And he's been able to stick with that as well.
What have you thought about Victor Olofsson this year, getting experience having him?
He's a more complete player than I would have guessed. I saw him a lot when I was with Boston. I always saw the shot and the power play, the one-timer, and he certainly brought that early, got injured. So Dorofeev kind of grabbed his spot and has run with it. So he's probably lost some goals because of that. They're two very similar players in that spot. But overall, he's a plus player for us. His 200-foot game is good. He hounds pucks. He's not a physical guy, but we didn't expect him to be. He's 180 pounds. Wasn't brought in here to run people over. He's in here to check well, use his feet, reload, have a good stick in D zone, get in the shooting lane when you need to, and he's done all those things for us. It's been a good addition for us.
What kind of a big picture question, but when you think about the best forecheckers in the NHL, what are some of the traits that stand out?
Angles, guys that can put defensemen in bad spot. That's usually hockey IQ and angles. Obviously foot speed, you got to be able to get there. And then I always said forecheckers to me, it's okay. You need physicality, you need hockey IQ and a good stick, or two of those three, right? If you have all three, well then you're elite. But two of those three usually you can create turnovers and put people in bad spots. And then the last one is a little bit of second effort, right? Being able to, if the guy does lose you, you can stay on the hunt and maybe catch him from behind if he thinks he's beat you. And, those are the Marchands of the world, those guys that stay on battles. And, we have a number of those guys, I think, in our lineup. Kolasar is a good forechecker for us that checks some of those boxes. I go down the list, but at the end of the day, those are the things I always thought.
Does that start to stand out more this time of year and as you get into the playoffs?
Well, yes, from night to night. This is the time of year you're going to have some games where you have to manage the puck better because teams are more invested. Then you got some teams that maybe are less invested because they're playing for something different. So it can go either way. But I think in general, that's the habits we want to build because we know the direction the game, how tight the games are going to get, in April and May, and that's certainly our goal is to be there then. So that is part of our talking points now, that risk management, puck management, risk reward plays become, influence the game a lot more than maybe earlier in the year.
What kind of growth have you seen in Dorofeev's game?
Strength on the puck. He's always been a good shooter, good release. He's got more confidence now. But the fact that he can get through the middle of the ice, off the wall and attack and stay on his feet when bodies are on him, but they don't knock him off stride, they don't knock him on his ass, and they don't always influence his shot as much as before in terms of not being able to get it off. He's stronger. He's just stronger on the puck and is harder to play against because of that. He's never been what you'd call a fast guy, but good first step and second step, deceptive speed, but he's able to get into the middle interior ice and find his shot. Last night he happened to get one off the rush where good timing. He's always been smart, but if you watch him close, a lot of his shots come with people all over him and he still gets a lot on it.